Yehovah, please fill me with the Ruach HaKodesh, that I may speak your written words with boldness to those who listen. I ask all these things in Yeshua HaMashiach's name, amen. We'll start with the Shema, listen and obey. Children of Yah, pay careful attention and respond. Yehovah is our power and authority. Yehovah works in unity with himself, and you shall act upon your love to Yehovah with your power and authority, with your thoughts and mind, with your entire body, and with all the muchness that you have. The letter from Yaakov, James, chapter 1. From Yaakov, a slave of God and of the Lord Yeshua the Messiah, to the 12 tribes in the diaspora. Shalom. Regard it all as joy, my brothers, when you face various kinds of temptations. For you know that the testing of your trust produces perseverance. But let perseverance do its complete work, so that you may be complete and whole, lacking nothing. Now if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all generously and without reproach, and it will be given to him. But let him ask in trust, doubting nothing. For the doubter is like a wave in the sea being tossed and driven by the wind. Indeed, that person should not think that he will receive anything from the Lord, because he is double-minded, unstable in all his ways. Let the brother in humble circumstances boast about his high position, but let the rich brother boast about his being humble, since like a wildflower he will pass away. For just as the sun rises with the sharav and dries up the plant, so that its flower falls off and its beauty is destroyed, so too the rich person going about his business will wither away. How blessed is the man who perseveres through temptation, for after he has passed the test, he will receive as his crown the life which God has promised to those who love him. No one being tempted should say, I am being tempted by God. For God cannot be tempted by evil, and God himself tempts no one. Rather, each person is being tempted when he is being dragged off and enticed by the bait of his own desire. Then, having conceived, the desire gives birth to sin, and when sin is fully grown, it gives birth to death. Don't delude yourselves, my dear brothers. Every good act of giving and every perfect gift is from above, coming down from the Father, who made the heavenly lights. With him there is neither variation nor darkness caused by turning. Having made his decision, he gave birth to us through a word that can be relied upon, in order that we should be a kind of first fruits of all that he created. Therefore, my dear brothers, let every person be quick to listen, but slow to speak, slow to get angry, for a person's anger does not accomplish God's righteousness. So rid yourselves of all vulgarity and obvious evil, and receive meekly the word implanted in you, so that you can save your lives. Don't deceive yourselves by only hearing what the word says, but do it. For whoever hears the word but does not do what it says is like someone who looks at his face in a mirror, who looks at himself, goes away, and immediately forgets what he looks like. But if a person looks closely into the perfect Torah, which gives freedom, and continues, becoming not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work it requires, then he will be blessed in what he does. Anyone who thinks he is religiously observant but does not control his tongue is deceiving himself, and his observance counts for nothing. The religious observance that God the Father considers pure and faultless is this: to care for orphans and widows in their distress, and to keep oneself from being contaminated by the world. How can we learn to love our Creator after reading James 1, Yaakov? We can learn a lot, and we know that what James is saying is we must act on it. We must do it. Aim to be a slave of Yah and of the Master Yeshua the Messiah, as Yaakov was. Know that just like in the time of Yeshua there were 12 tribes in the diaspora, there are still 12 tribes in the diaspora, and they are not all located in Israel, but are still scattered all over the world. Listen to Yaakov and regard it all as joy when you face various kinds of temptations. For this testing of your trust produces perseverance, and let this perseverance do its complete work, so that you may be complete and whole, lacking nothing. Know that if you do lack wisdom, Yaakov shares with us that we should ask Jehovah, who gives to all generously and without reproach. But you must trust, doubting nothing. Be humble. Aim to persevere through temptation in order to receive the crown of life which Jehovah promises to those who love Yah. Know that no matter what Bible you read, Yah does not tempt. Trust that it is our evil desires that lead us into temptation. Trust that Jehovah gives perfect gifts from above. Trust that Jehovah gave birth to us through a word in order that we should be a kind of first fruits of all that he created. Be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. For anger does not accomplish Yah's righteousness. Rid yourself of all vulgarity and obvious evil, and receive meekly the word implanted in you, so that it can save your life. Act on Jehovah's written word, and aim to look closely in the perfect Torah, and be a doer of the work it requires, so that you will be blessed. Ask Jehovah to help you control your tongue. Know that the religious observant that Jehovah the Father considers pure and faultless is this: to care for orphans and widows in their distress, and to keep oneself from being contaminated by the world. How can we love others as Yeshua loves us? We can teach others how they can become whole and complete, lacking nothing. Produce spiritual fruit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, humility, and self-control. And how can we bear one another's burdens? We can be a doer of the word, leading the way so others may follow our example. End with the Aaronic blessing. Jehovah will kneel before you presenting gifts, and he will guard you with a hedge of protection. Jehovah will illuminate the wholeness of his being toward you, bringing order, and he will provide you with love, sustenance, and friendship. Jehovah will lift up the wholeness of his being and look upon you, and will set in place all you need to be whole and complete. Amen.